Hello students. Now come to the plant kingdom. Now I am going to start with the classification of embryophyta, which means plants with embryo. Okay, that is divided into bryophyta and tracheophyta. Now bryophyta. The general characteristics are the plant body is gametophyte and is thalloid or differentiated. Plants remain attached by the unicellular rhizoids. Bryophytes lack vascular tissue. Next, sexual reproduction is of oogamous type. Male sex organ is called antheridia and female sex organ is called archegonia. Now it is again divided into liverworts, hornworts, mosses. Liverworts Rixia, hornworts Anthocerus, moss Funaria. Now come to the tracheophyta, which is vascular in which vascular tissue present. There is again divided into pteridophyta and spermatophytes. Pteridophytes and spermatophytes. Now pteridophytes. They are seedless, spore-producing vascular plants. Next, gametophyte is a thalloid called prothallus, and the life cycle shows the alteration of generation, which is again divided into four classes: Psilopsida, example Psilotum. Next, Lycopsida, example Celogenilla. Next, Sphenopsida, example Quisetum, and the last class is Pteropsida, example Fern. Now come to the spermatophytes, which means seed present. Okay, that is again divided into gymnosperm and angiosperm. We all know that angiosperm is again divided into dicots and monocots, and in case of gymnosperm, that is again divided into Cycadopsida, example cycads; Coniferopsida, example conifers; Ginkgopsida, example gingoals. Next, Natopsida, example nettles. Okay, now life cycle of moss plant, alteration of generation. In the life cycle of bryophytes, moss plants, there are two distinct phases which regularly alternate with each other. The gametophyte is a haploid thalloid. It is a dominant part. It bears male and female gametes, antheridia and archegonia, which are fused to form diploid zygote. It is the sporophytic phase. Next, sporangious cells undergo meiosis to produce haploid spores. Each spore on germination gives rise to gametophyte. Thus, life cycle of bryophytes exhibit alteration of haploid gametophytic and diploid sporophytic generation. Next, economic importance of bryophyte. It's used as food, also formed peat. It helps in soil conservation. Bryophytes are terrestrial amphibian plants. Next, pteridophyta. Life cycle of fern. So it is the adult plant, which means sporophyte, that forms sporophylls, which forms sori, and that forms sporangia. Spore mother cells forms from the sporangia, and spores are formed from the spore mother cells. Okay, and from spores prothallus is formed. Next, it gives rise to structure. One is the archegonium and another one is the antheridium. Archegonium forms oosphere and antheridium forms antherozoid. Okay, and fusion of these two structure or these two gametes formed oospore, and oospore converted itself embryo, and embryo converted itself as an adult plant. Okay, now here this portion or this phase is known as sporophytic phase, which means it is 2n, and this portion represents the gametophytic phase, which means n phase. Okay, so this diagram or represents the graphic representation of life cycle of fern showing alteration of generation. Okay. Now economic importance. It serves as food, biofertilizer, etc. Ornamental value, ferns are grown as ornamental plant in garden. Next, spermatophyta. We all know that, which is again divided into gymnosperm and angiosperm. Now, general characteristics of gymnosperms: they are woody perennial plants. Stem is unbranched. Leaves may be simple or compound. Economic importance: used as ornamentals, essential oils produced from it. It has medicinal uses. Next, angiosperm. It may be herbs, shrubs, or trees. They have well developed conductive tissue for conduction of water. Next, dicots. These are following these are flowering plants with two cotyledons in the seeds. Example: sunflower rods. Okay. Next, monocots. These are flowering plants with a single cotyledon in the seed. Example: grasses, cereals, bananas, etc. Next, pattern of life cycle and alteration or generation in plants. Three pattern can be seen. First one is haplontic life cycle, second one is diplontic, and third one is haplodiplontic life cycle. So, what is haplontic life cycle? The dominant photosynthetic phase is a gametophyte produced by haploid spores. Example: Volvox, Pyrogyra, etc. Okay. Diplontic life cycle. In this type of life cycle, a diploid sporophyte is the dominant phase, and gametophytic phase is represents single to few cell haploid gametophyte. This is termed as diplontic life cycle. Example: gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay. Now, next is haplodiplontic life cycle. In this type of life cycle, both haploid and diploid phases are multicellular and often free living. Bryophytes and pteridophytes exhibit this pattern but differ in their dominant phases. Now come to the animal kingdom. Okay. Non-chordate. Phylum Porifera. Sponges are aquatic, fixed or sedentary forms with porous body. Presence of spongocyl, which opens by single terminal openings called osculum. Presence of water canal or water current system. Example: Scypha, Euspongia, etc. Next, phylum Coelenterata or Cnidaria. General characteristics of Cnidaria are: they are marine except Hydra, which is freshwater form. Next, presence of nidoblast cells. Cnidarians exhibit two body forms, polyps and medusa. Example: Hydra, Physalia, jellyfish, etc. Next, Ctenophora or Cnidaria. These are marine, pelagic, solitary, body is flat, oval, round or conical. They have biradial symmetry and they are diploblastic. Example: Bero, system, etc. Next, phylum Platyhelminthes or flatworms. These are free living or parasitic organism. These are acylomed. Presence of mouth but no anus. Okay. Now next is the examples of platyhelminthes are Planaria, Fasciola hepatica, that means liver fluke, etc. Now next phylum is Nemathelminthes or Aschelminthes or Nematoda. These are free living or endoparasitic. These are pseudocoelomate, triploblastic animals. Example: Ascaris lubricoides, that means roundworm, Wuchereria bancrofti, that which means filaria worm, etc. Next, phylum Annelida, organ system level of or body organization. These are triploblastic, bilaterally symmetrical. Presence of metameric segmentation. Example: earthworm, leech, etc. Next, phylum Arthropoda. These are triploblastic, bilaterally symmetrical, segmented eucoelomate, but the segments are not separated by septa internally. Next, body is differentiated into head and trunk, which is again divided into thorax and abdomen. Example, limulus means king crabs, scorpion, centipede, millipede, etc. Phylum Mollusca, soft-bodied, non-metameric, triploblastic animals. Body is differentiated into head, visceral mass, muscular foot, and mental. Example, chiton, dentalium, septa, loligo, octopus, which means devilfish, etc. Next, come to the phylum Echinodermata. These are all marine with radial symmetry, presence of tube feet, and water vascular system. Example, sea urchin, sea lilies, etc. Now, next, phylum Hemichordata. Body is worm-like, divided into proboscis, collar, and trunk. Pharynx is perforated with gill slits. Example, Balanoglossus. Next, phylum Chordata. Presence of notochord, nerve cord, and gill slits. Phylum Chordata. It is the classification of phylum Chordata. So, it is again divided into three subphylum. First one is Urochordata, second Cephalochordata, third Vertebrata. Now, general characteristics of Urochordata. Bag-like sessile animals. Bag-like sessile animals, nerve cord and notochord present in the tail of larva and are lost during metamorphosis. Example, Ascidium. Next, subphylum Cephalochordata. General characteristics are fish-like marine animals, possessing all the three main chordate features such as nerve cord, notochord, gill slits, etc. throughout their life. Example, Amphioxus. Next, subphylum Vertebrata. Body is divided into head, neck, trunk, and tail. Presence of brain in cranium and vertebral column or spinal cord. So, it is again divided into two groups. One is Agnatha, another one is Gnathostomata. Agnatha, which means lack of jaws. That is again divided into a class, that is Cyclostomata. Cylindrical eel-like body. Example, Petromyzon, Myxine means hagfish, etc. And Gnathostomata, which means presence of jaw. That is again divided into two superclass, Pisces and Tetrapod. Pisces, that is again divided into two classes. One is Chondrichthyes and another one is Osteichthyes. Okay. Now, Chondrichthyes. Presence of placoid scales. Pelvic fins in males have claspers. Example, torpedo, dogfish, etc. And Osteichthyes, general characteristics are presence of ganoid scales, presence of swim bladder, etc. Example, rohu, katla, etc. Rohu, katla, etc. Next, superclass, which is again divided into four classes. Class Amphibia, class Reptilia, class Aves, class Mammalia. So now start with class Amphibia. Moist glandular skin, example salamander, frog, etc. Class Reptilia, dry scaly skin, no gland present in the skin, example snake, crocodile, lizards, etc. Class Aves, presence of feather, oil gland on tail, example parrot, owl, ostrich, etc. Ostrich, etc. Next, class Mammalia. Presence of fur, placental animals with mammary glands. Example, bat, human, tiger, etc. Now, here it is the class Mammalia, which is again divided into two subclass. Subclass Prototheria and subclass Theria. Prototheria, example duck-billed platypus, and Theria, which is again divided into two infraclass. One is Metatheria, that means kangaroo, and another one is Eutheria, which means bat, man, apes, etc. Now, come to the next chapter, morphology of flowering plants. Flower, that is divided into four parts: calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. Flowers. That is, it is the classificatory chart of flower, which is divided by accessory or necessary holes of flower. Okay, accessory holes means calyx and corolla, and necessary holes means androecium and gynoecium. Okay, next bisexual, unisexual or neuter flower. Next, polygamous flower. Example mango. Monoecious flower. Example maize. Dioecious flower. Example date palm. Okay, next complete flower. China rose, incomplete flower. Cucurbita. Next, symmetry in flower. On the basis of symmetry, flowers can be divided into three types: actinomorphic flower or regular, zygomorphic or irregular, and asymmetrical flower. So now first, actinomorphic flower, that means example mustard. Zygomorphic flower, example pea. Asymmetrical flower, example canna. Now come to the isomerous or heteromerous flower, and last one is hypogynous, perigynous and epigynous flower. Example of hypogynous flower is brinjal, perigynous flower is pea and peach, etc., and epigynous flower example is guava, apple, etc. Okay, now here it is the classification of inflorescence. Inflorescence is divided into racemose, cymose and mixed or specialized. Okay, now we need to know about the morphology of root. Root is a non-green part of plant which grows in the soil. It is negatively phototropic and positively geotropic and doesn't have nodes and internodes. Okay, now modification of roots. In some plants, primary root become thick and fleshy due to storage of food, and some example are conical root, means carrot, fusiform root, radish, etc. Next, here it is the morphology of stem. Here it is a classification of morphology of stem, that is underground stem, subaerial stem, aerial stem, etc. Okay, now next is next chapter is anatomy of flowering plants, that is xylem vessel. Xylem vessels are also known as tracheae and resemble tracheids in structure and function. Vessels is a long cylindrical tube-like structure made up of many cells called vessel members. These cells are also devoid of protoplasm. Next, xylem fibers. These are highly thickened wall and are obliterated central lumens. Xylem parenchyma cells are living and thin-walled, and their cells are made up of cellulose. Function: they store food and food material and in form of starch and or fat and other substance like canins. Okay, now next, so here it is the classification of xylem: primary xylem, secondary xylem, endarch, exarch, mesarch xylem. So primary xylem, which is again divided into protoxylem and metaxylem. Protoxylem, it is the early form xylem, and metaxylem, it is the later form xylem, and mesarch xylem found in leaves of ferns and cycads, etc. Next, phloem. It transports food material from leaves to other parts of the plant. Phloem in angiosperm is composed of sieve tube element, companion cell, phloem parenchyma and phloem fiber. Okay. Next, sieve tube elements are long tube-like structure arranged longitudinally and are associated with the companion cells. The companion cells are specialized parenchyma cells. Phloem parenchyma is made up of elongated, tapering and cylindrical cells which have dense cytoplasm and nucleus. Phloem fibers are made up of sclerenchymatous cells. The tissue system, epidermal tissue system. The epidermal tissue system forms the outermost covering of the whole plant body and comprises epidermal cells, stomata, and the epidermal epidermal appendages, the tracheomes and layers. Trichomes and layers. Epidermis is single. Epidermis is single layered. Epidermal cells are parenchymatous with a small amount of cytoplasm lining and cell wall and a large vacuole. The outside of the epidermis is often covered by cuticle which prevents the water loss. Stomata are the structure present in the epidermis of leaves. Each stomata is composed of bean-shaped cells known as guard cells, which is enclosed stomatal pores. So here it is the structure of stomata. It represents the guard cell and it is the stomatal pore. Okay. Now the round tissue system. All tissue except epidermis and vascular bundles constitute the ground tissue. It consists of simple tissues such as parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. The ground tissue consists of thin wall chloroplast containing cells and is called mesophyll. The vascular tissue system. The vascular tissue consists of complex tissue, the phloem and the xylem. Now next is dicotyledonous root. The outermost layer is epiblema. Many of the cell of epiblema protrudes in the form of unicellular root hair. The cortex consists of several layers of thin-walled parenchyma cells with intracellular spaces. Next, monocotyledonous root. It has epidermis, cortex, endodermis, pericycle, vascular bundles and pit. Next, dicotyledonous stem. Its epidermis is the outermost protective layer of the stem. It consists of hypodermis and endodermis. Pericycle is present in the inner side of the endodermis. Monocotyledonous stem. It has a sclerenchymatous hypodermis. Next, secondary growth. Most dicotyledonous plants exhibit an increase in girth. This is called secondary growth. The tissue involved in secondary growth are the two lateral meristems, vascular cambium and cork cambium. So now vascular cambium, the meristematic layer that is responsible for cutting the vascular tissue, xylem and phloem, is called vascular cambium, and cork cambium, as this stem continues to increase in girth due to the activity of vascular cambium, the outer cortical and epidermal layer get broken and need to be replaced to provide new protective cell layers called cork cambium. Okay, now here it is the another chapter known as structural organization in animals and anatomy of cockroach. The structure of these cells vary according to their function. Therefore, the tissue are different and are broadly classified into 4 types: epithelial, connective, muscular and neural. Okay, now here is the classification of epithelium, which is again divided into simple epithelium, compound epithelium, and specialized epithelium. Simple epithelium, which is again divided into squamous, cuboidal, columnar, ciliated, and pseudo stratified columnar epithelium, which is again divided into non-ciliated and ciliated, and ciliated is again divided into cuboidal and columnar, and compound epithelium is again divided into 4 types of epithelium, such as squamous, cuboidal, columnar, and ciliated columnar epithelium. Next, squamous is again differentiated into keratinized and non-keratinized. Okay, now here it is the classificatory chart of connective tissue. It is divided into connective tissue proper and special connective tissue. Next, connective tissue proper is divided into loose connective tissue and dense connective tissue. Loose connective tissue, which is again divided into areolar connective tissue, adipose tissue, and reticular connective tissue. And dense connective tissue, that is again divided into dense regular and dense irregular. Dense is again divided into white fibers, means tendons, and yellow fibers, means ligament. Now come to the special connective tissue, which is again divided into skeletal tissue, vascular or fluid connective tissue. Skeletal tissue, which is again divided into cartilage and bone. Cartilage, hyaline, fibrous and calcified, and bone, compact and spongy bone. And the vascular or fluid connective tissue is again divided into blood and lymph. Okay, so here it is the classification of epithelium or connective tissue and connective tissue. Now, the 3 types of muscular muscles are present in the body: skeletal or striated or voluntary muscle cells, and location found in the limbs and body wall, tongue, pharynx, etc. Function: contraction of skeletal muscle under the control of organism. And so these, it is known as voluntary muscle. The muscle attached to the limb bones helps in locomotion and lifting the objects. Next, smooth or non-striated muscle. Location: they are also known as plain muscle or non-skeletal muscle. Smooth muscles are arranged into arranged in the wall of digestive tract, urinary and genital ducts. Its form sphincter. Okay, function: it brings about opening and closing of apparatus as sphincter, and they make the cavity of vessel and tube narrow. Okay, next, cardiac muscle. Location: the cardiac muscle are found exclusively in the wall of heart, and function: they contract rapidly, rhythmically, and endlessly. Okay, next, neural tissue. It consists of neural cells or neurons, nerve fibers, neuroglia, and neurosecretory cells. A neuron contains a cell body, dendrites, and axon. Next, here it is the morphology and anatomy of an insect. That is here it is about the cockroach. Kingdom Animalia, phylum Arthropoda, class Insecta, genus Periplaneta, species Americana. Okay, now the body of a cockroach divisible into 3 regions: head, thorax, and abdomen. The body wall is formed of 3 main layers: the outer cuticle, middle hypodermis, and inner basement membrane. Digestive system: alimentary canal is 6 to 7 cm long and coiled and divisible into 3 parts: foregut, midgut, and hindgut. Next, circulatory system: cockroach has open vascular system, and it is without hemoglobin and any other respiratory pigment. Okay, now the body cavity of cockroach is filled with hemolymph and is called hemocoel. Respiratory system: atmospheric air enters into and escapes out from this system through 10 pairs of slit-like aperture called stigmata or spiracles, located on either lateral side of the body. Next, excretory system. Excretion is performed by fine hair-like and yellow-colored tubules called Malpighian tubule. Inside the lumen of Malpighian tubules, it is converted to uric acid and is discharged to hindgut and is excreted with feces. So, the cockroach is called uricotelic. Nervous system. It consists of CNS, that means central nervous system, and PNS, which means peripheral nervous system. Sense organ. All the major sense, that is touch, smell, hearing, sight, etc., are found in cockroach. Compound eyes, which contain an ommatidium used as photoreceptor, is one of the sense organ. Next, reproductive system. In cockroach, sexes are separate, that is male and female. Male reproductive system contain testes, vas deferens, mushroom gland, etc. Female reproductive system consists of ovary, oviduct, vagina, genital or brood pouch, etc. Now, here it is all about the anatomy of cockroach. So now, bye students.